Hey, just between you and me, the idea is to avoid the other cars. Congratulations! You just set the sport back 30 years with that move. That move will put you in the Hall of Shame. You keep doing stuff like that and we're gonna lose our sponsor. Looks like that's it for us today. Now I know why you got canned by your old team. It's over. We can't fix that damage.
Welcome back once again, ladies and gentlemen. Turn 3 Racing Network. It's the Gabrielle Ambrose KES Kids 200 live here from Bristol Motor Speedway, Thunder Valley. Baby, let's get it on. There's going to be some beating and banging, some bumping and running here at this famed Coliseum in the mountains, nestled away, Bristol, Tennessee. I tell you what, if you haven't had an opportunity to get to this track and you're any sort of a race fan, you have got to walk into the world's fastest half mile, the last great Coliseum, Bristol Motor Speedway. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. Speaking of not being disappointed, let's look at our points standings. KD Osmond, there he is. Dale Osmond sitting at the top of your point standings, 28 points in front of Troy Radford. Gordon Larson Jr. right there, still within striking distance with the amount of races we still have left to go in the season. No chase format for the championship, so these drivers have to do what they've got to do to get the job done on the track each and every Sunday night here on Turn 3 Racing Network. Corey Walters sitting in the 4th spot, and Doug Wasaki sitting inside your top 5 in the points. Doug gonna have to dig his way out of a hole if he's gonna want to try to go up and contend for the championship. That fast 88 of KD Osmond has been on point pretty much all season long. No real issues or troubles at all for KD, but it doesn't look like he is on top of the speed charts right now. KD sitting at 3rd as far as the time is concerned. Oh, and we've got a car going around. That is the 77 of Lance Yancey heading towards the inside wall. And I tell you what, let's give you a little bit of an overhead view of what it's like at this track. There you see high up above from our blimp cam here at Turn 3 Racing Network. A lot of stands there. You see them built straight up in the air. I mean, it's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. As we ride around, focused in on the 77 of Lance Yancey as he makes a few more laps here in the 3 minutes that are remaining in happy hour before we get set to go qualifying to find out who's going to take the pole position here tonight for the RFC NextGen K&N Series, live from Bristol Motor Speedway, the Gabrielle Ambrose's KES Kids 200. It's going to be one heck of a show. There you see Lance Yancey with a little bit more trouble. He's going to go around Brandon Medford. He's out there on track. sitting in his pit stall. There you see Katie Osmond, one of those drivers, fast drivers, firing off and down pit lane. I tell you what, let's go ahead and follow KD around for a lap or two if he decides to make a lap or two. Looks like he's going to hang out for just a second. So we'll move right along. Actually, we'll stay right here as he waited for Troy Radford to go on out and by. Then he decided to come out, make a few laps, maybe trying to learn a little bit of something off of being behind Troy, as Troy does have the fastest line so far. And, well, sorry to hear about that. Preston not able to make it out there on track tonight. We do miss you. We'll see you back next week, I'm sure. No worries, my man. Sometimes real life gets... Oh, and KD into the wall hard right there, coming towards the start-finish line. That's going to put a damper on the rest of his happy hour. A lot of drivers sliding way up near that outside wall. I think that could pose a problem a little bit later on in the runs. I think these drivers are going to have to be digging down there on the bottom, but we will just have to wait and see how it all shakes out, how it all runs down. But I can assure you, as we hear another car into the wall, this is going to be a track that puts this new damage model to the test. I'm sure we're going to have some fenders flapping, some hoods crinkled all up. This is going to be an absolute great one, ladies and gentlemen. And before we get too far into things, thank you for joining us, as always, here on Turn 3 Racing Network. From myself, David Worrell, and everybody else back at Turn 3 Racing Network, we appreciate and enjoy every time you guys can join us here on Turn 3 Racing Network. Tonight, it's the RFC NextGen K&N Series. They're going to get set, fired off to go qualifying here in about another 20-30 seconds or so. So we will step away here in just a brief moment, and we will be back for all your qualifying action here from Bristol Motor Speedway. And maybe we won't, because maybe I messed the commercial up and it's no longer there. So yeah, what do you think of that? Sometimes we do things and we forget that we do things, and so now I can't do something. Did you follow any of that? Because I think I confused myself. There it is, yellow flag in the air for happy hour. Green flag being displayed for qualifying. Eric Blount out there on track first, so we'll jump out there with Eric. No, Eric's going to sit at the end of the pit road, reset his car. So let's jump now with the 77 of Lance Yancey as he tries to steal the pole position here today for the KES Kids 200 here on Turn 3 Racing Network. Going to throw your qualifying order down because this is going to get heated rather quickly. There you see the countdown to green, just a little above the 9-minute mark remaining before we go. Green flag racing here on Turn 3 Racing Network. Lance Yancey utilizing the high line here for his first time lap. Gonna slot into the second position and now make it. Does he have enough to retake that top spot from Cody Terry? Not going to have enough. Cody Terry going to sit on top of the pole position as we speak. Brian Mescal Jr. and his 33 up and into the wall. That's going to hurt his times. He's probably going to have to abort some of that. Tough look for that 33 of Brian Mescal Jr. Thomas Light hanging out at the end of pit road now, rolling off. He'll begin his timed lap. We do have 7 drivers with times on the board so far. Thomas hits the pit exit. He's going to join the racing surface, try to get things going the right direction for Thomas. Try to take over that provisional pole position being held by the 22 of Cody Terry. Sitting at the end of pit road, the 5 of Brandon Hartwell waiting to make his timed lap. Troy Radford out on track as we speak. Thomas Light slotting up into the 4th position with his first time lap, coming around to take his second time lap. Where will he shake out? Crosses the line. Can he improve? No, he doesn't. Gonna stay right there in the 4th position. Brandon Hartwell now sitting, well, just on the other side of that transfer truck. Just hanging out there. There he is, hiding from us there for a moment. Just hanging out at the end of pit road, looking to see if anybody else is out on track. Doesn't look like anybody's out there right now, so we'll step away, wait for somebody to lay down a timed lap. There you see the drivers that have managed to qualify. Only 8 drivers deciding to turn in a lap, and we've got over 20 drivers out here tonight, so very surprising that these drivers are kind of shying away from getting out there and qualifying. Just about 6.5 minutes remaining here in qualifying for the RFC NextGen K&N Series. It's the Gabrielle Ambrose's KES Kids 200 laps around this half-mile track here at Bristol Motor Speedway in Bristol, Virginia. Thunder Valley is going to be rumbling tonight when these 24 K&N Series drivers hit the track, get the gas pedals matted, and we will get to racing, and it is going to be one heck of a night, I can assure you that. The 6 of Eric Blount now trying his hand at qualifying. We'll take a look at Eric as he has just hit the track. Not going to lay down a lap, though. Very interesting, just kind of going out and getting a feel for it, but never actually putting in a timed lap. Very interesting strategy there by Blount and his crew. And it is looking like, ladies and gentlemen, that may be it. We may not have any more drivers electing to go out there for qualifying. So I tell you what, we're going to take a real brief moment, step away from the track. We'll come back and we'll see if anybody else is ready to go out there and qualify before we head down trackside for our nation's anthem. So don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We will be right back. And welcome back trackside here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Just a little bit more than 3 minutes remaining here in happy hour. We're going to step on down track side, see if we can't get a word in with the driver sitting on the provisional pole as of right now, the 22 of Cody Terry. How you doing, bud? It's Dave in the booth. You got your ears on?
10-4.
Well, my man, doing a good job so far. You got that pole position as of right now. 2.5 minutes remaining. 14.714. Do you think that's enough, or do you think somebody may be waiting for the last minute to come and try to dethrone you?
Well, there's definitely a lot of fast drivers here today. This is by far my favorite track. Short tracks are, as you know, are my go-to tracks. I'm really good at short tracks, but it's going to be a really tough race today. I hope I can stay out front the whole time, but we'll have to see.
All right, my man. Well, before we let you go and climb back into the car and get strapped in and ready to go 200 laps around this half-mile track, would you like to give me special thanks, shout-outs, love yous, hi do's, anything like that?
Absolutely, yeah. I want to thank Jeremy Lauder over at GBC for giving the opportunity to put the sponsor for his company on my car. Great guy to get a hold of if you ever want some duck calls made. I want to thank Morgan, if she's listening right now. Just want to thank her for all her support and love you. And see how it goes.
All right, my man. Well, good luck. Elbows up.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
There you have it. That was the driver of the 22 machine sitting on the provisional pole. Doesn't look like anybody else is going to go out and attempt to snatch the pole position away from that 22 of Cody Terry. So he will walk away with tonight's Coors Light pole position. And, well, we're going to head on down trackside for our nation's anthem. We'll be right back.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly wailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
And just like that, we are back. Field has hit the track. We are ready to go green flag racing. Before we do, we will give you tonight's starting lineup. Starting pole position inside row number 1 with a 14.714, the 22 of Cody Terry. Starting to his outside, the 67 of Chris Berg. Row number 2, the 77 of Lance Yancey and the 98 of Thomas Light. Row number 3 here tonight, the 86 of Travis Arthur and the 88 of Katie Osmond. Row number 4, the 57 of Damon Cox and the 3 of Michael Massengill. Row number 5, the 00 of Roy Hyde and the 49 of Troy Radford. Row number 6, The 33 of Brian Maskill Jr. in the 5 of Brandon Hartwell, row number 7. The 17 of Alan Westman, Corey Walters right behind him. Row number 8, David Smith Jr., Gordon Larson Jr., row 9, the 84, followed by the 34 of Douglas Wasaki. Row 10 is Eric Blount and Brandon Medford. Row 11, Jason Edmonston, Adam Novak. Ray Radford rounds out the field, and we are set to go green flag racing here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Next time around, we will get this thing fired off and ready to go. And oh my, are you ready to go racing here in Bristol, Tennessee? 200 laps around this half a mile. That is awesome, Miss Linda. And you need to get in the race this Saturday. Got another RFC Significant Others race coming up. Brian Maskill Jr. in the field tonight. His wife, Donna, actually won the race in the Legends car at none other than Bristol Motor Speedway. Look for some more action coming your way Saturday night. Pace car is off. Field in the hands of the flag man. Green flag is in the air, and we are off. Outside row got a great start. Chris Berg with a very, very good start. Looks like most of the field well in a way trying to get a... Oh, and Cody Terry's going around on the bottom. Big moment there for Cody Terry. Your pole sitter trying to gather it back up. Oh my goodness, big moment for him. Down on the apron, letting a lot of cars go by. Tough break here for Cody Terry. He's going to fall all the way to the rear of the field. Meanwhile, back up at the front, your top 4 still not sorted out just yet. Chris Berg right there leading the field in his 67 machine. Thomas Light in the 98 right there running in the 5th position. Katie Osmond up there in 3rd. Looks like your top 5 pretty much stringed out. Chris Berg's got about an 0.8 of a second lead over Lance Yancey. Very fast in that 77 machine. Now going to jump back here with a few more of the drivers working their way around the field. Brian Maskill Jr. down there digging on the bottom in his 33 machine. As the rest of the field still continue to battle. We've got a battle back here in the back brewing between Brandon Medford, Eric Blount, Doug Wasaki. Cody Terry with some issues. He's being scored off the track and on pit road. Oh no, something happened with our pole sitter, and he is being scored almost a lap down now. Very, very tough break. Looks like Michael Massengill also down there on pit road with some troubles very early in tonight's race. Back up at the front, Travis Arthur having to deal with, oh my goodness, the 5 of Brandon Hartwell with a little bit of blinking going on there. Looks like that may actually be the 86 of Travis Arthur with the blink issue. So we'll shift our view just a little bit in front of him. Brian Maskill Jr. trying to keep the 7th position away from Alan Westman. Down the back stretch back to 3 and 4. Rest of the field still trying to sort things out while Chris Berg walks away with a 1.04 second lead over second place runner Lance Yancey. There you see that 3 of Michael Massengill. Heavy damage already on that left front. He is already being scored 4 laps down and gonna drop a few more until he can get that thing fixed. Everything seems to be fine, letting everybody by on the outside line. We'll now rejoin your race leaders up at the front as we've got a battle raging right here for the 2nd and 3rd position. There you see Lance Yancey has it. KD Osmond wants it. He wants to try to go up there and track down that 67 of Chris Berg, slowly opening the gap between him and his competition. As Osmond, utilizing that high side, gets the run, makes the pass on the 77. Yancey gonna slot up the track and now try to follow in the tire tracks of that very fast 88 as he tries to track down this man right here as he tries to come up and take the spots away from Chris Berg. There you see Cody Terry back in the background. He is now being scored 3 laps down, going into the pits with some troubles, with some connection problems, and now back out there on track. He's going to continue to try to come up through the field once again. Back down trackside, Chris Berg continues to lead the race. KD Osmond running in second, Lance Yancey in third, Troy Radford fourth, and Thomas Light now in fifth. Going to go back through the field as it looks like Travis Arthur, Brandon Hartwell, Roy Hyde, these 3 drivers battling with each other, trying to solidify themselves inside of the top 10 as we have already hit lap 18 out of 200 in tonight's scheduled race distance. 103 miles out here for these drivers, and it's going to go by very, very quick. Caution laps here are still very, very quick. We don't want to see that yellow flag fly, so hopefully we can continue green flag racing through some pit cycles. That's when things are going to get interesting. This track, very confined. You've got to get down off the racing surface and load up very quickly in a short amount of time, a short space to do it in. So pit road here at Bristol Motor Speedway can be very, very tricky. As we watch this battle between 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, all sort itself out. Chris Berg now out to a 1.5 second lead over KD Osmond and his 88 machine. Lance Yancey falling to the wayside just a little bit, about a half a second back from Osmond, since Osmond was able to make his way by. Now Roy Hyde looking to the inside on Travis Arthur, not going to be able to do it. Will that allow Brandon Hartwell to use that high line? Look at the run that 5 machine gets off of the corners using that high line. Now Roy Hyde trying to utilize it as well. Where will the 86 go? Kind of in the way right now. Will we see a little bump and run here shortly out of that 00? Roy Hyde now losing a little bit of ground. The 5 of Brandon Hartwell able to get to his outside. He's going to utilize that high lane to get the run down the front stretch. He's going to have the position at the line, but he's going to find himself now being stuck behind that 86. Almost 3 wide there. Hartwell thought about it, thought better of it, and that 86 seems to be in the way just a little bit. Roy Hyde very aggressive on that left rear quarter panel, trying to slow down that 86 with a little bit of side draft, trying to make the pass down there on the bottom. Oh, very close through the center. Roy Hyde, now Brandon Hartwell, both slot through. Looks like Gordon Larson Jr. trying to dig on the inside and make the pass as well. He's digging, trying to get it to work. Oh, very close there on exit. Chris Metford right there. Eric Blount now coming into play as well. A lot of drivers stuck behind this 86. And my goodness, I tell you what, why not? While we've got some drivers grouped up with each other, why not do it, you know? Let's go ahead and turn it up. Man, oh man, what a way to bring you the sights and sounds here from the RFC NextGen K&N Series, live on Turn 3 Racing Network. It's the Gabrielle Ambrose KES Kids 200 from Bristol Motor Speedway. 200 laps. We've already clicked off 35 of those 165 laps remaining. Roy Hyde now finds himself under fire as he is losing some ground. Now has Eric Blount right there in his 6 machine trying to take away that 10th spot. Damon Cox right there in the 57 also losing a little bit of time, losing a little bit of ground. And oh my, what has happened at the front? Chris Berg, sorry, we're going to go up here to this because Katie Osmond, Lance Yancey, Troy Radford, they have all caught your race leader. While we were watching some of the other battles brewing through the field, the top 4 have managed to find themselves nose to tail working their way off of 2 and 3. I mean, off of 1 and... I don't even know where I'm at. There's only 4 corners, and I don't even know what corner I'm in. Now we're going to go into turn number 1. There we go. I figured out where I was at. How about that? Side-by-side racing action with the 77 of Lance Yancey and the 49 of Troy Radford. Do have Jason Edmonston in the 71 running that low line. He is now being scored. I believe that is the first car 1 lap down. No, strike that. That's going to put Jason Edmonston, the first car, 2 laps down. As we have only got 16 cars left on the lead lap, already working lap 42. Going to be lap 43 this time by, and Troy Radford digging down on the bottom, trying to get the run on the 88 of Osmond, but it's not going to work. He's going to have his work cut out for him if he's going to make that pass work as they come down the back stretch back into this high-banked concrete corner here in Bristol Motor Speedway. Osmond all over that rear bumper of Berg. And is it a matter of patience or a matter of pushing right now? Are you patient with the driver in front of you, or do you push him? Not literally in the sense of the word push, but do you make him drive a little harder? Do you make him get into the corners a little bit faster than he wants to? Make him miss his braking points and on and off throttle points? Just pester, bug, if you will. Like a little gnat in his ear, lap after lap, just keeping that nose right there on his left rear quarter is Katie Osmond. And now Lance Yancey gonna dig to the bottom, looking to take the lead. He's got the position on Osmond, not able to maintain it off to the line, but he is digging down there on the bottom, trying to make it work. We seen Troy Radford try to make that same pass work. Didn't work out for him. He finds himself back in the 3rd spot. Now that hard charge from the 77 of Lance Yancey starting to fizzle out just a little bit. He's going to find himself back in the 4th position. And don't blink, but look behind. That 17 of Alan Westman has driven his way up through the field into the 5th spot. And he is on his way to meet up with this top 4 here, and we're going to have a 5-car tango momentarily if things don't change. Just in front of your race leaders, the 57 of Damon Cox running in the 16th position. He finds himself flirting dangerously with going down 1 lap. There you see it. Not much of a gap between himself and the race leader behind him. Douglas Wasaki, Corey Walters, Travis Arthur, Roy Hyde, all very close to being put 1 lap down. Now Damon Cox going to the bottom of the track, giving the race leaders that high side. Top 2 make that 3 and 4 all go by Damon Cox as he falls to the wayside as well, now being scored 1 lap down in the 15th position. And oh my, did Lance Yancey hit pit road? I believe he did. He's being scored 2 laps down now, but he has been on and off pit road. 14-second stop, so that is a normal 4-tire stop Lance Yancey, maybe a little bit of fuel strategy already coming into play here tonight. Meanwhile, the battle still rages on for the race lead. Chris Berg has had it the entire time. Katie Osmond wants it. Troy Radford looking to take it away. Don't look now, but here's the 17 of Alan Westman coming into the picture. Brandon Hartwell, Chris Medford right there as well, waiting in the wings should something go down and happen between these drivers up here at the front. Still down on the bottom lane is that 49 of Troy Radford. He was the fastest car around that last time. Hit the stripe as the race leader once again. That high side starting to struggle just a little bit. Radford able to slide in front of Berg for the first time here tonight. A brand new, true, clear leader. And there you see the very fast 77 of Lance Yancey. He is on fresh tires. He is going to gobble up the rest of this field very rapidly. There you see him right there on Radford's bumper. He's going to make the pass now going into turn, I believe that is turn 3 and 4. Yes, it is. No, it isn't. That was 1 and 2. But Lance getting one of his 2 laps back, and he's going to continue to try to separate himself from the race leader for when these leaders do finally decide to pit. And when will that be? Looks like the pit window has opened up for a few of these crews. David Smith Jr. on to pit road. Michael Massengill on pit road. Lance Yancey, driver, furthest, highest running driver in the field that has already made his pit stop. We continue under green flag conditions. Lap 61 out of 200 here tonight for the Gabrielle Ambrose KES Kids 200. Live from Bristol Motor Speedway here on Turn 3 Racing Network. Thank you once again, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us for all this high octane action being brought to you each and every Sunday night by this RFC NextGen K&N Series. From myself, David Worrell, up here in the booth, and everybody else back in the production rooms at Turn 3 Racing Network. We do appreciate you each and every time. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit a thumbs up, click subscribe, smash the bell on the right-hand side. Get notified anytime myself, Darkside Dave, Muth in the booth, whether it's Chris Legue, Stormin Stolfus, any of us over here at Turn 3. Don't forget about Danny Valenzuela, Big Al, Rick Hammond. How could I forget about Rick? Baby. Hope the baby's okay, Rick. Big shout out to him and his family getting a little bit bigger. May everything go good for you out there tonight at the hospital. And it looks like David Smith Jr. is going to find some issues. We'll have to take a look back with our Turn 3 replay. Looking at it, and it looks like Smith is wounded already down there on the bottom of the track, trying to maintain it, not quite sure what happened there. Was there contact? I don't believe there was contact there. Looks like maybe maybe a little bit of contact, not quite sure. Nonetheless, we'll rejoin the race leader up at the front, bringing the field down pit road. Few drivers electing to stay out right now because, well, they are a lap down, so they are not afforded the chance to pit just yet. And who's going to win the race off of pit road? And looks like we may have some drivers with some issues on pit road. Troy Radford going to win the race off of pit road. Brandon Medford being scored as the race leader. He came down pit lane, but did not change any tires. I believe he may be a little bit lost on what side he was supposed to pit on. Now coming back down pit road, so he's going to give up the race lead. Corey Walters right now being scored as the race leader, but he has yet to pit as well. There you see him going into his pit stall now. That's going to give the race lead back to this man right here, Troy Radford. And I'll tell you what, let's see if we can't get in a quick word out there with the driver of the 49 machine, Troy Radford. We'll see if he can dial him in real quick. Hey, Troy, it's Dave in the booth. You got a copy?
I do, Dave. How you doing, bud?
Doing good. Not as good as you, man. First place. Looking good out there. How's the car?
Car feels real good. I had to use up the tires a little bit getting up through the field, but, you know, was trying to save them as much as I could.
Well, a pretty long green flag run there. It looks like a few drivers may have tried to do a little short pitting thing. How many times, or can you not tell, how many times do you think you still got to pit here? Are you going for a one-stopper from this point?
Yeah, we are still on a one-stop race. It just kind of depends on we've been on a one-stopper the whole time. We were right. Fuel run was going to be right at 100 laps, which we got a 200-lap race, so it would have been real tight if no caution to come out. But heck of a first drive by everybody.
All right, my man. Well, I know the crew chief's going to start screaming in your ears. We get the one to go this time by. Before we let you go, we want to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, anything like that?
Just big shout out to everybody who's coming out here tonight. At this point, just really grateful for everyone continuing to show up and putting on a heck of a show this season.
All right, there you have it. Your driver sitting in the first place position. That is Troy Radford. He will have control of this latest restart when we get going back. Green flag racing, lining up to his outside row number one. Your points leader, the 88 of KD Osmond. Just behind him, Chris Berg. 84 of Chris Medford will line up behind Osmond. Brandon Hartwell down third car inside row. Running in the top five just to his outside in the sixth position for this restart. Thomas Light in the 98. Troy Radford on the gas, and we're back. Green flag racing here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Not able to get away from that 88. Carrying a lot of speed through the corner. He's going to come back down the back stretch with the advantage into three. Can Radford dig on the bottom? I don't think he can. Screaming by on the outside. That 88 of KD Osmond utilized the high side and the momentum to just drive right on by that 49 of Troy Radford and take over the race lead. Chris Berg sitting right there in third. Brandon Hartwell, Chris Medford right there. Thomas Light now trying to make his way inside the top five. Eric Blount right there running in the seventh spot. He's looking for some more positions on the track. A little bit further through the field, we've still got drivers mixing it up back here. The 00 of Roy High trying to get by the 34 of Douglas Wasaki. There you will see that 17 of Alan Westman also being caught one lap down due to the pit cycle. He decided to hit pit road. Didn't work out for him, unfortunately. So Westman finds himself with a little bit of trouble, a little bit behind the eight ball, being scored. The first car, one lap down. Damon Cox in the 57 machine, right there in 17th. He's the second car, one lap down, and will rejoin the battle up here at the front for your race lead. It's a 5-6 car battle now. Make that 7, possibly 8. All of these drivers all within 1.1 second of each other, so throw a blanket over your top 6 as we continue green flag racing here on lap 79 out of 200 for tonight's scheduled race distance here at Bristol Motor Speedway. 121 laps left when we cross the line. That time by in Osmond trying to stretch his lead. Wrong camera there, Dave. Wouldn't you know, I would do something like that. Great shot from this 49 machine being driven by Troy Radford. There you see it just hanging to the side of the passenger side window right there. Man, that is a great action shot. Absolutely love it. We'll now jump on board back here with the 98 of Thomas Light as he makes his way around the track. We'll jump on board with him with one of our gyro cams. Look at the banking. Look at that camera just swivel. Absolutely crazy. Some drivers have likened this racing surface, this track, something like a roller coaster almost. Not quite in the sense of a roller coaster that Dover is, with that big drop down into the corner. Just the banking here is so tremendous and so quick. The transition isn't a very slow progressive transition. You're somewhat flat to nowhere near flat through the corners of this track. I believe we may be able to give you some of that information for you. There you go. Track looking nice and pretty cool out there tonight. 72 degrees for the track temp, so a lot of grip out there in that concrete surface as we continue to watch it kind of blacken in just a little bit lap after lap with these K&N Chevy Impalas putting down some rubber here on this concrete surface here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Looking through the field, trying to find some scraps and skirmishes. Looks like we've got some small ones going on. We'll jump back here just a little bit as Eric Blount now losing the position to Chris Medford. Gordon Larson Jr. right there waiting in the wings, trying to in the 71 of Jason Edmonston. He goes around. We'll have to take a minute, go back, see what happened with Edmonston on our turn 3 replay. And just got on the apron a little bit and around. She goes right in front of the race leaders. Oh my, big moment for Thomas Light. That was right in front of the race leaders. That could have been a catastrophic moment for a lot of drivers out there. Hats off to all of the guys missing that. Looks like most of the field hitting pit road. Gordon Larson Jr. in the 01 electing to stay out on the racetrack. Alan Westman now being scored in the second position, staying out on the racetrack while the rest of the field has hit pit road. We do have a few drivers out there with some damage and are out of today's race. Looks like the 22 of Cody Terry, the 33 of Brian Mescal Jr., and the 71 of Jason Edmonston, all behind the wall, all going to finish with a less desired finish than when they came here this evening. Bristol, very tough track, close quarters racing, and I mean, we are almost halfway through this thing already, working ourselves around the track. Caution number 2, 7 laps of caution, only 3 lead changes here tonight at Bristol Motor Speedway, so that clean air and track position seems to be the golden goose, the golden ticket, if you will. Get yourself up there in clean air, you might find yourself in victory lane. Gordon Larson Jr. gonna hit pit road, so that's gonna leave the field in the hands of the 88 of K.D. Osmond, your points leader, going to assume the race lead and try to extend his points lead over the rest of the field. Troy Radford right there, second in points, running second on track. He wants to steal a win away, try to gain some momentum and some ground on the points leader, K.D. Osmond, and these two are going to be championship fight battling with each other. That kind of style back and forth as the races click off and we get closer and closer towards the end of the season here in the RFC NextGen K&N Series. Pace car lights are off. We are set to go back. Green flag racing. Pace car down and away. Radford on the gas on the outside lane, but not soon enough as Osmond gets a great jump that time. Well and away from the field. Chris Berg digging down on that inside lane, trying to make the pass work, but Chris Mefford gonna make the pass on the outside lane. Berg gonna be slotted back in the 4th position. The 98 of Thomas Light now trying to make his way through the field. Gonna be sitting in the 4th position. So we make our way around the track one more time. Still under green flag conditions. Now after this latest restart, working lap 98 of 200. On the fringes of halfway already here tonight. And Osmond making a case for leading the most laps, now leading 26. Most laps led so far, 55, by that 67 of Chris Berg, who is having trouble getting by that 84 of Chris Medford. Thomas Light, Eric Blount right there as well. A little bit further behind this group of drivers, you can find another group of drivers. Brandon Medford, Brandon Hartwell, Alan Westman, Doug Wasaki, Gordon Larson Jr., all right there. Also, very, very close quarters racing. Looks like we have a few more drivers with some issues. David Schmidt Jr. with some issues out there on track. Looks like Ray Radford gonna go around this time. We'll take a look back with our turn 3 replay, see what happened here with Radford. A little bit further back and then we'll be able to catch it. There you see him coming through the corner. A little bit of help there after he was already sideways. Lance Yancey taken up into the wall. Around goes Radford. Schmidt Jr. comes in, hits Lance Yancey. After the fact, that's going to spin Lance around. A little bit of trouble for those drivers, and my goodness, we have found ourselves back under caution once again. And ladies and gentlemen, you know what they say, cautions breed cautions, and this is a short track, so tempers can begin to fly and flare here very soon. We all know how it happens. We've all been a part of it, and my goodness, good on-board shot here from that 88 of Katie Osmond as he makes his way around the field behind the pace car. While we've got a chance and an opportunity, we're going to step away for just a brief moment. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We will be right back.
Growing up as a kid in Oklahoma, where I'm from, the Chili Bowl is the biggest race that we have. The Chili Bowl has kind of been my favorite race of the year. Growing up a dirt racer in Oklahoma, that's kind of the holy grail.
And we are back trackside. Field has begun to get doubled up as we will get set to go green flag racing. This time by pace car will duck off and we will get set to go back green flag racing. The field in the hands of your race leader, KD Osmond, down there on the inside row, just to his outside, Alan Westman. What a drive. Osmond fires away down on the inside. Westman not getting a great jump. Radford not electing to go down to the bottom lane. He's going to stay right behind Westman as Osmond begins to work around the track, try to pick up the pace, pick up the gap. A lot of drivers still battling through the field. So many, it's hard to pick who and what to show, when and where, because my goodness, they are everywhere. Tell you what, while we've got a chance, let's go ahead and try to give you one more proper turn it up. Man, oh man, I tell you what, if you don't like that, well, I don't know what to tell you. Still battling for the race lead, the 88 of Katie Osmond has the 49 of Troy Radford hot on his trail. Half a second, actually a little bit less than that. Back to Radford, there you see the 17 of Alan Westman being followed closely by the 67 of Chris Bird. Go about a half a second back and you will find the 6 of Eric Blount right there creeping up into our screenshot here as the field continues to click off the laps. 116 out of 200 here tonight. 85 laps left to go, and it looks like Osmond beginning to flex his muscles on the field late in the race here tonight. Gonna jump back with this little battle brewing. That is the 83 of Brandon Medford, Brandon Hartwell, Gordon Larson Jr., all right there with each other. Thomas Light also digging down there on the bottom. Thomas being scored in the 6th position, trying to maintain that spot. Close racing there between the 83 and the 5. Well, brother man, jump in the car and come on and drive. If you want to drive with these RFC NextGen K&N Series drivers, hit up the admins on iRacing and come on, man. Get on the track. Let's go. Meanwhile, back up at the front, Troy Radford begins his climb and clawing at that 88 once again, trying to come up through the field, trying to take that top spot back once again. Unfortunately, well, Troy could potentially lead the most laps here if he were to take the lead with about 70 or so laps to go, which we are very, very close to that point. Lap leaders for tonight, Chris Bird with 55. Katie Osmond continues to click the laps away at 50 as we sit. Troy Radford with 16 and Gordon Larson Jr. with 1 lap led out there tonight. right on that rear deck lid. Now is the 49 of Troy Radford trying to take the spot away back into turn number 1. A half a car length separates your top 2 as they make their way around the back marker. The 3 car of Michael Massengill being scored 6 laps down now, but still out there running in the top 15. Rest of the field seems to be sorting themselves out fairly quickly now as we work into the 20 or more laps on these tires. KD Osmond out there with the oldest tires at 35, and Troy Radford now looking to the inside with his 10-lap fresher tires. Will that be the difference maker? Does he have enough grip down there at the bottom? The 88 going to use that highlight. Oh, and Radford big time loose coming off of turn number 2, and that's going to give the position to the 67 of Chris Berg. Big time save there by Radford. Man, that was a wheelman moment if I have ever seen one here. Sideways coming off of turn 2, able to save it down there on the apron, but I guarantee you those tires are not happy with that 49 right now. That's going to allow KD Osmond, your race leader, to kind of step away from the trouble and issues there. You see him already into turn number 3. We'll jump back with this battle now as Brandon Hartwell takes the position. That's for the top 5. A little bit of scrapes and scuffs on the right side of that 17 of Alan Westman, who finds himself falling through the field now back to the 6th position. A little bit further through the field, the 57 of Damon Cox was able to take the position away from the 86 of Travis Arthur. That is for the 12th position. 3.5 seconds in front of them is the driver for the next position, the 84 of Chris Medford, running in 11th. Lance Yancey, this driver right here, trying to keep that last and final top 10 spot, trying to chase down Gordon Larson Jr. as well. A lot of positions still up for grabs as we've got a lot of racing left to do. 67 laps left here from Bristol Motor Speedway in Thunder Valley, the world's fastest half-mile racetrack. And ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't get a chance to see my boys roll into town and roll Tide all over them Tennessee Volunteers when they played in the infield, you missed a big-time deal. That was a great thing. I hope they do it again in the future once everything in the world settles down and we get back to some normalcy. That'd be a great thing to watch again. Football in the infield of Bristol Motor Speedway. What more could you ask for in life? Gonna jump back up at the front as Troy Radford now getting the tires cooled down, getting the car a little bit happier now after that moment. He has been able to chase down the 67 of Chris Berg. Now looking to the inside, thinking better of it. Gonna slot just behind him, running his tire tracks off of 3 and 4. Now looking to the inside in 1 and 2, side by side. Not able to make the pass just yet. Still right there lurking on that left rear quarter panel through 3 and 4 this time. Not going to be able to do it. Berg going to maintain the position on the high side. KD Osmond putting himself closer to the territory of securing the most laps led for the race here tonight for the Gabrielle Ambrose KES Kids 200 live from Bristol Motor Speedway. 59 laps left to go. Osmond has led what will be 70 laps this time by the stripe, working their way by the 57 of Damon Cox. Going to be scored the first car 1 lap down now, running in the 13th position. Your top 3 get by Cox on the outside lane. Radford still pestering the 67 of Berg, but Berg not yielding the spot, not giving away the position, and right there looking to the inside time and time again on that 88 of Katie Osmond. Your race leader has a mirror full of two very hungry drivers. And forgive me because I may pick the wrong one, but we're going to try this one right up. Wouldn't you know, wrong one. Look over the hood of the 67 of Chris Berg, looking at that rear deck lid of the 88 of Katie Osmond as they work their way off of 1 and 2 down into 3 and 4 lap car. The 86 of Travis Arthur right in front of your race leader, trying to stay on the lead lap. Going to be digging down there on the bottom, not going to be able to maintain the spot. He's going to become the first car 1 lap down in the 12th position. We've got 11 cars left on the lead lap, and these race leaders getting closer and closer to running into some heavier lap traffic. Lance Yancey, Alan Westman, Gordon Larson Jr., just a handful of seconds in front of your race leaders as they continue to battle this 3-car battle, not going away. They have not given up, and Brandon Hartwell is slowly closing in, now within 1 second of catching this trio of cars, as Radford gonna look to the bottom once again as Berg was able to get by Berg was able to get by Osmond, sorry. Now Radford by Osmond as well. Could it be those tires just finally giving up on that 88 machine? He has been out there for 60 laps on his tires. Radford and Berg 49 laps. Hartwell with 50 laps on his tires. So those tires are definitely screaming for Osmond as he is losing a ton of time now late in this run. Chris Berg digging on that outside lane, trying to see if he can pad some more laps in his pocketbook, walk away with the most laps led. He's got 59. He's got a few more, about 20 more, and he can take over the most laps led here tonight. That being held right now by the 88 of Katie Osmond, running in the 3rd position. Gonna look through the field as Troy Radford still trying to take that top spot away. Thomas Light slowly closing in on the 6 of Eric Blunt for the 7th position. This is one of your closest battles on the track, so we're gonna stay right here as your race leaders battle. Oh, and Berg into the wall just a little bit. That's gonna be enough to put Radford by into the point. We are starting to work our way into heavy lap traffic. Thomas Light in his 98 brings his machine down to pit road for what should be the final time of the evening, and caution is out. Thomas Light's on pit road. Travis Arthur into that outside wall. We'll take a look back with our turn 3 replay, see what happened here to Arthur. Everything seems to be going fine and dandy. Down off of 2 into 3 and 4. Looks like the 83's just to his out. Oh, never even saw him there. The 83 goes around. Oh, and Travis Arthur walking up the track just a little bit. That right front is absolutely destroyed now. I can guarantee you that. My goodness, one more time. We'll take one more look. And it looked like Travis Arthur just didn't know the 83 was going to be out there. Maybe got a little twitch right there. Oh, this is where it's going to get bad for the 17 of Alan Westman. Bam, right there. Clipping that right front with his left front. That's going to spell trouble for sure. So we will rejoin your race leaders battling off of pit road. My goodness, Chris Berg, Troy Radford battling off a pit road. Not sure who's going to be awarded the position, but my goodness, that was one heck of a battle there. Looks like the spot is going to go to the 67 of Chris Berg. So we'll let the drivers continue around the racing surface. We'll see if we can't get in a word or two with the driver running in the first place. Let's see if we can't dial up that 67 of Chris Berg. It's Dave in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you loud and clear.
Hey, my man. Looking good, running good up there. Led 62 laps so far, but we're down to the nitty-gritty this last 40 laps. You think that 67 has got what it takes to stay in front of the field?
I think if I can keep running the top, it's going to be tough, though, with Troy and Dale. They're just a little bit better than me. I've made a few mistakes, but, led quite a few laps, but they're going to be the toughest competition for sure.
Well, about 15 more laps, and you'll take over the most laps led. That's one point in the bag. You've got one for leading a lap already. Head down, elbows up, I guess, bud, huh?
Oh, yep, exactly. Hoping to pull off, back-to-back would be really awesome. But, hey, it's been a heck of a race. Been pretty dang clean, too, all the way through.
All right, my man. Well, before your crew chief starts yelling at me for keeping you occupied over the radio, would you like to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, anything like that before we let you go?
Just shout out to my team, Blackhawk Motorsports. Running great again. Mike had a little bit of an issue, but we've been strong again this week.
All right, well, there you have it. Some final words from your driver in first place leading this field. He will have control over the restart when we hit the restart box and the pace car gets its ugly Mustang butt out the way because it's broke once again. Lights not working. Imagine that, something not working on a Ford. Just saying. My opinion, no, it doesn't matter. So what? Anyways, field through 3 and 4, pace car down and away. And off goes Berg. He fires on the gas very early. Troy Radford with a decent start. Not quite getting the start he wanted. The 88 of Katie Osmond looking to the inside now. Not going to be able to make the pass just yet. He's going to have to deal with the 84 of Chris Medford. Brandon Hartwell right there as well as Radford digs down on the bottom. Side by side with Berg as they make their way down the back stretch back into turn number 3. Not able to get the spot just yet is that 49 of Radford as they continue back down into 1 and 2. Caution is out. Thomas Light involved in this latest incident. Let's take a look back, see what happened. Oh, just a little hot on entry, it looks like there for Thomas Light. Slid the car around a little bit. No harm, no foul, didn't hit anything, but caution is going to fly once again. Chris Berg, your race leader, and this is kind of where you're at the mercy of the field because, well, if you pit, they're more than likely going to stay out. If you stay out, well, they might just go ahead and pit as we've only got 8 cars on the lead lap. So not going to lose a lot of positions. Damon Cox right there in the 57 going around the pace car. He's going to get himself back onto the lead lap. That will give us 9 cars on the lead lap. So, 7-8 laps difference on the tires. Well, why not? I don't know. I think if I was one of these drivers, I think I would probably be screaming for some tires. Let me have new tires any and every chance I can. I want 4 freshies, and I ain't leaving till you put them on. So, gonna do, we've got some some viewers, fans, family, friends out there watching on the YouTube side of things. Gonna give you a chance here to chime in. Who do you think has got what it takes to get the win here tonight? We'll give you a choice. Tell you what, you can choose from one of these top 5 drivers: Chris Berg, Troy Radford, Chris Medford, Katie Osmond, Brandon Hartwell, right there, your top 5. Or will it be somebody from outside these top 5 that comes up through the field as we get closer and closer to the end? You never know what might happen. 31 laps remaining here in the Gabrielle Ambrose KES Kids 200, live from Bristol Motor Speedway. Tell me who you got. Tell me who you think's got what it takes to secure the race win here tonight from Bristol Motor Speedway. All right, well, YouTube chiming in there. Thank you, appreciate it. Looks like we've got some Falcon Motorsports fans. They're picking Troy or Medford to take the checkered flag. We've got some drivers out there for Osmond or Berg. So, fans picking drivers inside of that top 4. Berg down and away. We're back. Green flag racing once again. 30 laps left to go. Straight to the high side goes Berg, trying to keep that 49 of Radford right behind him. KD Osmond running just behind Berg and Radford, trying to come up and take the positions away. Not going to be able to do anything just yet. 2/10 separate your top 3 from each other. Chris Medford sitting there in 4th. Another 3 seconds back, still only a half a second away from your race leader, Chris Berg, still dealing with the fast 49 of Troy Radford, trying to take that top spot away. No, a little bit loose there on exit for Radford. He's able to corral it, point it in the right direction. Loose again on exit. That's going to put the 88 of Osmond just at, and Radford's going to go around. Osmond into him. Eric Blount, nowhere to go. We've got cars spinning everywhere. Brandon Medford, I apologize, caught up in this one. Let's take a look back here, see what happened. Radford with some issues in front of these gentlemen right here. And just nowhere to go as this happens right in front of these drivers. Right here on this next corner, Eric Blount trying to get woed up. Everybody trying to get woed up. Oh my goodness. Gordon Larson Jr. able to skirt by. Alan Westman able to skirt by. Big trouble for an early heavy favorite, heavy hitter. Troy Radford with some issues finds himself behind the 8 ball going down pit road now, fixing some damage, being scored in the 8th position. We'll have to go up with the front of the field, see how everybody else is faring. Look at KD Osmond, see if he's got any issues out there on his car. Looks like a little bit of scuffle right there above that right front tire. That could come back to haunt him a little bit further in the race. Rest of the car looks fairly clean. A little bit of crack there underneath where the headlight would be. So a little bit of damage, not too much. Should be all right, should be okay, but you never quite know. Left side looks pretty clean. Front end a little bit squared off now, but that's how things go. And just like that, nah, Preston, you didn't you didn't jinx them. I probably did, because it's a curse of mine. If you if you join me when I'm out here broadcasting here on Turn 3 Racing Network, then you'll know I don't like picking race winners because any and every time I ever have, they crash and die. So I have a broadcaster's curse, so I will not pick a winner. I refuse to do it. And this way, at the end of the race, I can always say, well, that's who I was going to pick, and nobody would ever know. So the curse can be a good thing, but sometimes it is a bad thing for some of these drivers. Troy, a little bit of damage. He's already back out on track. Didn't stay for too long in his pit stop, so not a lot of damage there. He should be all right. We've got 9 cars on the lead lap now. Alan Westman getting back on the lead lap, going to be scored in that 9th position. Gordon Larson Jr. in the 01 now being scored. The first car 1 lap down. Field making their way through 3 and 4 back across the line. Gonna have 21 laps to go. 20 green flag laps of racing when we get our restart. And, well, we do have an attempt at a green-white checkered should we need it. And I don't know. This is, it's world famous. I'm sure you've seen it on TV commercials when it gets time to head to Bristol Motor Speedway. It's the famous line of, "It's Bristol, baby." I mean, anything and everything can happen here. Bump and run, a flat out run you into the wall. I'll pinch you down onto the asphalt. I mean, you name it and you can do it here at Bristol. And I'm sure we're going to see some fireworks here as we get closer to the end of this race. Pace car lights are off. Chris Berg well and away from the field now. Back. Green flag racing the 84 of Chris Medford. Able to get a good jump over that 88 of KD Osmond. Now sitting in the 3rd position. Battling back on the outside now. Retakes that 2nd spot. Brandon Hartwell up inside the top 5. Running that high line in 4th position. Chris Berg still digging out in front of Katie Osmond right now. Field not going anywhere. Nobody getting away on this restart. Your top 2 slowly starting to gain a little bit of distance between themselves and your 3rd place runner, Chris Medford. But the more these drivers battle, the more opportunity that will give the 84 or the 5, possibly that 34 of Doug Wasaki. Where did he come from? He's sitting in the 5th position. Osmond right on the trail of Berg through the corner, back across. Great run to the line that time by Osmond. Not able to do anything with the run. Ladies and gentlemen, been so busy. Never threw up the running order down there on the left-hand side of the screen. So I do apologize. Just a lot of stuff going on out there on the track as we are already down to under 15 laps remaining here for the Gabrielle Ambrose KES Kids 200. Lap 188 out of 200 in tonight's scheduled race distance. We have got 13 laps left to go. Does Chris Berg have what it takes to keep Osmond behind him? These two not only fighting for the race lead, but fighting for the most laps led. If Osmond's able to get by him here in the next lap or 2, he may be able to tie Berg. But if Berg leads 2 more laps, that's going to be his point as well here tonight. Only 1 lap away from being able to secure the most laps led out there tonight. The 67 of Berg goes through 3 and 4. Looks like he's going to capture that coveted 1 point for leading the most laps led out there tonight. KD Osmond now just needs to focus in on the race win, trying to get the job done. Several battles back through the field. Looks like Douglas Wasaki trying to take over the 5th spot from Damon Cox. The unicorn himself now running in the 5th spot. Very quiet night for that 57 of Damon Cox running in 5th. Had some troubles earlier, went down a few laps. able to get the positions back. We'll highlight the unicorn Damon Cox right there, running in his Coca-Cola 57 machine, as Troy Radford having a little bit of connection issues now, falling through the field. My goodness, when it goes south quick here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Damon Cox, though, good recovery, a little bit of damage on that right side. We'll rejoin the battle up front for your race lead as we get closer and closer to the end of this thing here tonight. The Gabrielle Ambrose KES Kids 200 drawing to a close. This time by, we will have 5 laps remaining. Lap 196 out of 200 here tonight for the Gabrielle Ambrose KES Kids 200. Live from Bristol Motor Speedway here on Turn 3 Racing Network. KD Osmond digging hard in that second position, trying to come up and take the spot away from Chris Berg. Not looking like he's got anything for him for the moment, but it is not over. Could he be saving one final run here in the last lap or two? Chris Berg back across the stripe that time by to bring us to 2 laps to go here from Bristol Motor Speedway. KD Osmond right there on the heels of his teammate. Not going to be able to get by this time by. White flag is in the air. 1 to go, presented to you by Turn 3 Racing Network. And my goodness, 3 and 4 for the last time. Osmond looking inside, not going to get it done. Your race winner, the 67 of Chris Berg. My goodness, that was one heck of a show out there tonight. Great job out there by Chris Berg. Katie Osmond, Brandon Hartwell digging hard, staying with it, sticking with it, coming away with a 3rd place finish and getting to the podium. And as Chris Berg gets his car ready to burn it down, we're going to get things set up for our post-race interviews. So stay with us, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back here on Turn 3 Racing Network. And welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us here on Turn 3 Racing Network. We've had an opportunity and a chance to catch up with a few of your podium finishing drivers out there today. Gonna now move down trackside, see if we can't get in a quick word or two with the driver of the 5 machine, sliding home in 3rd position, Brandon Hartwell. You got a copy? Mic check on Hartwell. You got a copy? Sometimes technical issues happen, things like that. Let's try one more time. Hey, Hartwell, it's Dave in the booth. You got a copy? Well, technical issues looks like we're not going to be able to get up and talk with that 3rd place finisher, Brandon Hartwell, just yet. We'll try again before we head on out of here from the track. We'll see if we can't get in a word with your 2nd place finisher, driver of that 88, Katie Osmond. How you doing, bud? You got your ears on?
Yep, I've got you.
Well, my man, great race. You led a ton of laps out there. Just came up a little bit short, but running 2nd to a teammate can't be that bad, huh?
No, not at all. This is our 2nd week now, finishing 1-2. I just came in here looking for a solid points tonight, and that's what I got out of it.
Well, walk us through a little bit of the race. The moments where we had that little bit of a rash of cautions is what I'd say. We had 2 to 3 back-to-back there for a moment. What went through your head as far as tire strategies? Because at one point in time, you had about 15 laps older tires. Was that an issue for you?
Yeah, that was definitely an issue. I knew that was a mistake once I got a little bit into that run after the caution. I also wasn't going to make it on fuel, so I was pretty much begging for a caution at that point, and luckily one came out and allowed me to catch back up there. But yeah, tires were definitely an issue tonight. More than I thought they were going to be. I thought you were going to be able to go, 10, 15 laps on a set of tires and stick with some guys, but they kind of passed you like you were standing still, even on that low line.
All right, my man. Well, once again, great job finishing 2nd here tonight. That's going to help your point standings out, as your closest competitor didn't have such good luck finishing a little bit further down through the running order tonight. But once again, Katie, great job. 2nd place finish here. Before we let you go, would you like to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous?
Yep, as always, to my family watching, thank you for broadcasting this. Thanks to everyone in this league. I mean, Bristol's an insanely tough track, and, we had some really long runs there, and they were awesome. And congrats to Chris, my teammate, for that win. That's 2 in a row now, so awesome job.
All right, there you have it, driver that finished 2nd out there today for the Gabrielle Ambrose KES Kids 200. KD Osmond giving praises to his teammate, and now we'll give him a little bit of praises ourself, walking away with the race win 2 weeks in a row. Chris, man, how you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty dang good right now. That's 2 probably the toughest tracks on the circuit in back-to-back weeks, and to pull it off, it's pretty awesome.
That it is very, very tough to be a repeat winner here in the RFC NextGen K&N Series, but you've done it. You've made it look somewhat easy. You led more than half of the race out there tonight. Was track position a big key here tonight at Bristol?
Oh yeah, huge key. I was trying to stay up there most of the race. I had a plan going in that, okay, if it was 30 or more lap green flag run, then I'd come down and pit. If I was 5th or back, I might take 2. But I had a plan going in. I know me, KD, and Mike, my teammates, we had ran quite a few laps yesterday, and I don't feel like I had the best car at all. I feel that was Troy and KD, but it ended up working out. I qualified 2nd, and it just stayed up there and put myself in position.
Well, man, 2 race wins in a row. That's going to go a long way in the point standings. There's still a chance that you can fight and claw your way back into it. With 2 race wins, I mean, momentum's got to be there. You got to be feeling good. The cars have got to be handling good for you. Do you think you could possibly turn this into a stretch of 3 or maybe 4 wins?
I don't see why not. I think Auto Club's next on the schedule, and that's another pretty strong track for me. And just the new tire model seems to really fit me. Long runs just seem to be better here. I was a little off. Katie helped me a little bit on that second half of the race. I was putting too much brake in and burning the right front up. So I don't see why not. As long as we can, make it through unscathed, be right there.
All right, my man. Well, thank you and appreciate you taking the time to come talk to us before you get to celebrating and having fun. I know there's a couple of local bars around here in Bristol that are a little over the top. I'm just going to leave it at that. But, my man, great job once again walking away with race win number 2 in a row. Before I let you go, though, want to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous?
Yeah, give shout out to my Blackhawk Motorsports teammates, Dale and Mike, and then as well as my daughter Bristol. Actually, she's sitting right here in my laps. Finally, after the race was done, she was trying to come over and hit the wheel all race. Had the wife holding her back, so because she figured out where the power button is and likes to turn it off. So it was a good thing. We won Bristol for Bristol.
Heck yeah, you can't beat that, man. Congratulations, good job. Elbows up, and we'll catch up with you next week.
Thanks.
There you have it. That was your race winner, driver of the 67, Chris Berg. And we'll see if we can't get a word in now with the driver that finished in the 3rd position. Let's see if we can't get a hold of Brandon Hartwell this time by Hartwell's. Dave, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you. I just didn't have a button set.
Well, it's technical issues and difficulties sometimes, and, things happen. Trust me, I screw up all the time.
Oh, it happens.
So, good race for you. Car looks pretty darn clean compared to a lot of other drivers out there. Pretty quiet, no issues for you. Slowly, methodically made your way up through the field. Did you think you had anything for the top 2 during that final restart?
I think I made it up there, but I think I burned them up a little bit. Yeah. As you seen, I drove from the back to the front quite a few times this race, and a lot of fun. Just took care of the car, didn't smack the wall too much.
Well, man, you've slowly clawed your way back up into, I believe, inside the top 10 or higher in the point standings. And I can't remember right off the top of my head, but finishing 3rd here tonight going to help you out in the standings. Still quite a few races left to go. Do you get to carry any momentum walking away with a podium position from a short track like this to a big track like we head off to? I believe it is Auto Club. Can you take anything away from this race and bring it there?
Oh yeah, I believe so. Auto Club is one of my favorite tracks to run on with these cars. And the beginning of the season, I had a lot of bad luck, got caught up in a lot of wrecks, and that's what got me back quite far in the standings. But man, I hope so. I hope to get up there.
All right, my man. Well, once again, congratulations with your 3rd place finish out here tonight at Bristol Motor Speedway. Before we let you go, would you like to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, anything like that?
Shout out to the league, you for putting these together and giving everybody a good show. Thank you.
All right, there you have it. That was your 3rd place finisher in tonight's Gabrielle Ambrose KES Kids 200 from Bristol Motor Speedway. And ladies and gentlemen, that's pretty much all she wrote for us. Things are going to get a little bit hairy Houdini here. Check this out. Now you see them. Now you don't. They're gone. They're out the way. Everything else out the way for us here at Turn 3 Racing Network, except for your final results. So we'll go ahead, throw those up across the top of your screen for you. First place, your race winner, the 67 of Chris Berg. Katie Osmond right there in second position, finishing third, the 5 of Brandon Hartwell. Fourth spot goes to the 84 of Chris Medford, in finishing fifth, the 17 of Alan Westman. Douglas Wasaki in his 34 machine, finishing in the 6th spot, and coming home in 7th, the 83 of Brandon Medford. Troy Radford and his 49 crew found some trouble late in the race. They're going to finish tonight in the 8th position, and in 9th, the 57 of Damon Cox. Rounding out your top 10, the 01 of Gordon Larson Jr., followed in 11th by the 98 of Thomas Light. Finishing 12th, the 3 of Michael Masson Gill, and in 13th, the 86 of Travis Arthur. Finishing 14th, the 6 of Eric Blount, and in 15th, the 77 of Lance Yancey. Finishing 16th here tonight from Bristol Motor Speedway, the 08 of David Schmidt Jr. 17th position here tonight for the Gabrielle Ambrose KES Kids 200, the 47 of Ray Radford, followed by the 14 of Corey Walters. 19th spot is going to be the 44 of Adam Novak, and finishing in the 20th position, the 00 of Roy Hyde. 21st position goes to the 71 of Jason Edmonston, and finishing in 22nd, the 33 of Brian Mescal Jr. I know his wife Donna's probably going to rub it in his face. I won last night and you couldn't get the job done tonight. Just saying, don't get mad at me, Dirt. You know I love you, homie. Anyways, the 23rd spot here tonight's going to go to the 22 of Cody Terry. Cody, your pole sitter for tonight, but issues very, very early. Going to put him way behind the field, 181 laps down here tonight. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's pretty much all she wrote for us up here in the booth. And, yeah, I mean, what more can I say? Great racing action out there tonight by the RFC NextGen K&N Series each and every Sunday night here on Turn 3 Racing Network. If you haven't already, go ahead and show these drivers you appreciate and like what they're doing out there on track each and every Sunday night. Hit the thumbs up, click subscribe, smash the bell over there on the right-hand side to get notified anytime we go live here on Turn 3 Racing Network. And, well, ladies and gentlemen, with everything going on in the world, stay safe. Love each other. Give each other respect. Let's be smart. Let's get through this and over this. And, yeah, we're here for all your racing fixes here on Turn 3 Racing Network. So, yeah, we'll see you later. Stay safe. Be loved.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.